Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing our first ever Alliance Quest gameplay. Now this isn't a ordinary Alliance Quest gameplay, which you'll see. It's map 6, and it's not just map 6, it's day 5 map 6. That is correct. So this is the hardest of the hardest. Team Legion, of course, Prestige is classified, but it is pretty high, as you can imagine. And yeah, it's going to be on day 5, so you're not going to see any more challenging gameplays than this for a while. So I figured that I wouldn't exactly pump these out too much, and I'm only going to be doing it on day 5, I guess, as it's the hardest days, or if I get like a certain boss kill. But spoiler alert, in this gameplay there's no actual boss footage. I did try Demamu, of course, but I only had my Ultron against Demamu, and the double kind of evade thing is broken right now, so we didn't take too much health from him. I think I got like 200k points after the battle, so it wasn't worth showing. And also I actually lost the footage of section 2, so yeah, it doesn't really matter though. So pretty much we have section 1 and section 3 gameplay, which is still a hell of a lot of fights. So my first path, which I will always take, so it's going to be consistent. There's no point in changing your paths, as one, you may have trouble remembering them, or you may go the wrong way, force a habit. You want to get used to your paths, and you also get more skilled by going the same path, because you can master it. So first up, we have Civil Warrior. Now, Civil Warrior can be very tricky, because when he launches his SP1, you actually get he actually gets armor up, which means the damage is obviously reduced from what you inflict onto him. So you really want to do a patient fight. You want to build him to the SP2 as much as you can, as it is fairly straightforward to evade, but you can get hit by the beam that everyone thinks is very easy to evade, which it is, but you have to be careful. Also, his heavy attack comes in kind of fast, but not too fast, kind of in the middle between normal and fast, I'd say, so you do have to watch out for that. But, it is a power gain node as well, so you can easily get him up to the SP2, but you want to be careful, because if you get him to the SP3, you're pretty much dead, especially on day 5 map 6. So we got the first fight out the way, fairly straightforward. But, map 6 isn't straightforward, so if you're watching this and it looks easy, it's not as easy as it looks, especially if you don't have 5-star champions on rank 4. You have to see here that we actually do have 3 5-star champions on rank 4, but that still doesn't exactly justify the difficulty. So we're going into the next node, which is a Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel is very straightforward. She does, of course, start with a bar of power, so you have to watch out for that. But other than that, it's just pretty much a bait and switch between her SP1 and SP2. It doesn't really matter which one you bait, but it makes more sense to bait the SP1, right? Which is what I was doing. We do have the class disadvantage, which means it's not going to be the easiest of fights in terms of getting her down efficiently. But it doesn't exactly matter, as, Star-Lord is an absolute beast. And you'll see here, look at the SP2. Crazy damage, and the shock kind of rinses her health down even more. So really and truly, guys, I personally think Star-Lord is the best for map 6. Now, of course, there is a regular Ultron coming up, but he's still not going to be as good as Star-Lord. Star-Lord is really for people who can keep up a decent combo, because even in map 6, you can average maybe 40 to 50 hits in a regular fight on a regular node on day 5. So, his signature ability is crucial, because, of course, now it does actually take effect after each hit, which means every hit you inflict, you gain, more of a power index to inflict on your opponent. And of course, when he crits, he's just an absolute beast, even though he's already a beast. But he's one of them champions who's completely trash, unduped. And it's crazy to think, if you have an unduped Star-Lord and you don't know much about the game and you're trying him out, you probably think he sucks. And once you dupe him, you're like, wow, he was the #1 guy in the Realm of Legends, and he still is the #1 guy in the Labyrinth of Legends. So I can only imagine that, in the next quest, he's pretty much going to be the same. So we did mess up here. but you know, it's all good. We learn from our mistakes. Vision is tricky, and he does get me kind of nervous because, you know, sometimes you don't want to use his specials, and you have to be really, really careful, because if you kind of get over about a bar and a half of power, then when he gets his synthesis thing going on, he's going to get his SP3, which is pretty much a instant knockout. So you have to be really, really careful, and you can only like get him, you know, over 1 bar of power. Any more than that, it's too risky, and you know, you can pretty much call yourself dead if he gets the SP3. So you just want to really be doing a patient little fight. You know, try to keep up your high combo if you're using a Star-Lord, which is what I was doing. Then I was just constantly baiting his SP1, of course. And right now the intercepting is kind of off. This footage though is actually with my new iPhone 7 Plus, so I was just actually getting used to it. This was my first ever day playing, but now how many days after? 1 or 2 days after I'm recording, no, 1 day after I'm recording this, doing the voiceover to the gameplay, I can definitely say that the iPhone 7 Plus is much, much better than what I was using before. I was actually previously using a iPhone 5S, and you can see here the lag in the gameplay, which is consistent. It doesn't matter what device you have, it doesn't matter about your internet, there's constant lag on the game right now, and I really am curious to see what kind of rewards they're going to be giving us, because if Kabam turn out with, hi, you're welcome, we fixed the game, no, like, the thing is, right, guys, it's bugs. Bugs should not be on the game, so we shouldn't thank them for fixing it, which means they have to give us compensation. And if they don't, there's definitely gonna be another boycott coming, which I would agree with. Because you can't just completely mess up a game for a month. Which, by the way, like at the end of this month, it will be a month, and then that means that, you know, we've pretty much put up with utter crap for a month. Like, this is day 5 map 6 gameplay, and I have a huge disadvantage, and I'm putting up with it, you know. But pretty much one mistake from the evade glitch, you're screwed, you know. You have to, you know, use a revive, which costs, you know, just over $5 for a team revive and alliance quest, or, you know, heal several potions. But yeah, so we're up against Miles Morales. Now, Miles Morales can be very, very tricky, but I really only do hit him on like a 4-hit combo. His special attacks are, you know, straightforward enough to evade. You can see here I am good at parrying, so I can get all the way back to the corner, and I can still pull off the parry. So Miles Morales is tricky, but, you know, on day 5, you don't want to mess up, because, you know, with a 5-hit combo, you're dead. All it takes is one little evade, and you're screwed. You can see here, I almost found myself dead, but we redeemed ourselves massively by evading back twice, and then actually pulling off the parry. And then in this situation here, we just pretty much, you know, again, was really close to the wall, and then we knocked him out. So now this is where I actually don't have the footage to the Section 2 gameplay. It was only like 2 or 3 fights anyway, guys. We did lose a bit more health on our Star-Lord, and we messed up with our Gwenpool. So, you know, it wasn't exactly, you know, too bad. I did actually go up against the Rhino in Section 2, which is very difficult. But next, you know, week on day 5, if we run day 5, you know, our plan, you know, on AQ could change. And also the actual layout of how many days of week we do map 6 is, of course, classified. So if you want to comment how many days we do for map 5 and map 6, I will not be answering it. But, you know, you may as well try, right? So, you know, we're against another Vision here. And the reason why I brought in Gwenpool is just to actually show that she's actually still good against champions who's bleed immune, because people think she's trash. But as you can see, she's critting between 1 and 2k damage, which is insane. It's actually more than regular Ultron critting. So, sorry, classic Ultron, my 5-star. So, you know, she is a great option still for bleed immune champions. Of course, she does have the power lock on her SP2. But which is actually very, very good for Vision, but it does take a while to, you know, get to. As you can see, this is it here. But of course, it does run out while she don't have bleed inflicted onto the opponent. So it's pretty much useless for the majority of the fight against a bleed immune champion. But you can see, like, you're still not going to be timing out, you know, using a Gwenpool. I would definitely recommend a 4-star rank 5 Gwenpool in Alliance Quest map 6. You have to really think, guys, map 6, you don't need certain champions, like, to be good. if you're good with actual champions, then use them. If you're good with Hawkeye is good for map 6. It really just is about your offensive ability and how well you can fight champions. That's why like nobody else in my alliance will use a Gwenpool. I haven't seen it so far, and probably nobody in your alliance uses a Gwenpool for map 6. But in my opinion, she's great. She has bleed going on, which is very, very overpowered, and you'll see here. I use Gwenpool for the majority of the fights here, and you can see how good her bleed is and how effective she is in map 6. So also, my goal of map 5 is to not use any items. And yeah, that is what I actually did. Of course, we didn't revive to help out a boss because my alliance didn't need to use items really to get the bosses down, which is great. You know, we have a great, you know, every single player in this alliance is skilled, which is, you know, it's amazing to be in, you know, being around other skilled players, getting stuff done, doing your work. And we actually ranked 3rd in Alliance Quest, which was an amazing achievement. We did beat Core, who usually rank in the top 3. I believe they finished 5th actually, so we was definitely surprised. But of course, I was on Blackout. This is my first week in Team Legion, so we didn't get any of the rewards apart from the milestones, which absolutely sucked because, you know, doing map 6, it definitely is hard work, especially when you're doing it more than once. So it is a shame that we didn't get the rewards, but I don't really care too much about the rewards. Of course, it would be nice to get the 2 tier 4 CCs and the basic and like all the glory that came with it and glory crystals, but it's just one of those things. And look at that, guys. 9 bleed stacks on Gwenpool, which is just absolutely insane. And it really does show her, you know, power. You know, she's absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful that I actually pulled her from the 5-star crystal twice. We did open 4, and yeah, I'm very, very happy indeed that I did end up going for her. So in the next fight, we still do have our Gwenpool, Star-Lord, and Ultron. So these nodes are kind of similar on this path, as you can see, but we went ahead with our Gwenpool again. Now this is Black Bolt, of course. And pretty much his power gain is a lot faster than the others, so I do between a 2 to 3 hit combo, sometimes a 4, but mostly a 2. Pretty much I just try to hit him while the bleed is still going on, and I bait his SP1 because you don't want to be baiting his SP2 because of the, you know, double dashback glitch, the dexterity glitch. Which is just completely terrible right now, so I probably would have got hit if I let him get the SP2, which is a shame as his SP2 does, of course, pretty much take health from Black Bolt. But you can see here I'm just pretty much just consistently making sure I have the bleed going on against Black Bolt, which is very, very nice indeed. I'm just baiting his SP1. You can see here we're getting a stun, but again, it's useless in this fight. But I do believe that Gwenpool's stun should actually be increased. I mean, even with the correct stun setup, it's just not good enough. I mean, perhaps with a stun team, it can increase, but, you know, it only lasts for... It lasts for hardly nothing, and the only way you can actually proceed into maybe a full hit combo while she has a stun is if you actually get the stun inflicted onto the opponent on your 4th or 5th hit. If you get it on your 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, you're not going to be able to carry out the rest of your combo. But you can see here, it was a very, very nice, clean finish from 5-star Gwenpool. So going into the next fight now, of course, we're approaching the end of our path, no items used, and we've played pretty well. Of course, we are using the iPhone 7 Plus though, so I'm starting to adapt to it, so we aren't playing to our full potential just yet, but, you know, we're still doing our work, we're not dying just yet, so it's all good. So I bring in Gwenpool again. Now, of course, I do know the opponents that I'm facing, I do have a note of them. There are several maps out there that Tricos has designed and so many other people, but here is 4. I'm not going to say too much on 4 because I don't want him taken out, but he's one of the easiest ones in this. He does have the power gain, but you can see I absolutely destroyed him. It was embarrassing for 4, of course. Like, look at that, just absolute carnage. Gwenpool just destroyed him in 19 hits, and this is day 5, guys. A nice 78,000 points earned for a cheeky little 19 hits. So, you know, Gwenpool actually come in the basic crystal as a 5-star. I really hope you guys actually get to pull her. So now this is the next fight, which is actually Agent Venom. We actually messed up with our Star-Lord. We didn't have too much health, but, you know, I figured I'd try and go in with Star-Lord. I definitely should have got him, but you'll see I actually messed up here. But you know, pretty much with Star-Lord, you know, because Agent Venom has the power game going on, it's fairly easy. You can see we messed up there. It wasn't too big of a deal, and we pretty much kept backing away. And then I don't know what I did there. It was a failure of an intercept, and then we got ourselves killed. But you know, we do have Classic Ultron, so I went ahead and used him. We actually haven't used him yet in this Alliance quest, I believe. Yeah, no, we actually haven't used him just yet in this map 6 gameplay. So I figured I'd, you know, give him a shot against Agent Venom. Now, of course, I haven't did a review just yet on Classic Ultron because I'm waiting until they release the new update, as they may make some changes. Because that's exactly what happened last time. I did like 3 reviews on characters on the 12.01, sorry, the 12.0 update, where everyone else was like bitching. And then all of a sudden, you know, like within 24 hours after, my videos was useless. So it was just a waste of time. So I'm not going to be doing any character reviews until they fix the damn game. As of now on the May 2017, which will be released into a 13.01 update at the end of the month, hopefully. But Agent Venom is fairly straightforward, especially when you're using Ultron, you know, bleed and poison immune. So if you do happen to get hit by the SP1, then it's not too big of a deal. You know, he's not going to bleed, so it's not going to be, you know, doing too much damage to him. But, you know, it is obviously best to actually back away from Agent Venom. But you can see here, we did finish him nice and easy. And this was pretty much it of the Alliance quest gameplay. But guys, I'm out for now. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment down below. I do read all the comments. I'm out for now. I hope you have a great day or night, wherever you are. Peace.